Haydn-Jones.
This sort of spattering of an audience. It's like the little Friday warm-up. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How you doing? Are we happy to be in Jersey? See? Your numbers are few, but your voices are loud. I'm David Haydn-Jones. This panel only goes as well as your questions, so please don't be afraid. It's really nice to be back here. It's so fun. It's so much kindness at my events and tables already, so I'm super grateful for you. I actually want to start off by saying, people have asked me all the time, have you seen the show, right? They're like, you know, you're in the show, have you seen the show? And a lot of actors are like, well, you know, I do my bits. I don't even watch myself sometimes.
Enjoy your pretzel.
It was amazing.
But I am happy to report to you that I have begun the journey from season 1. So when I joined the show in season 12, and don't editorialize, I know it's problematic. Let's keep it positive, right? Huh? We're not going to get into any canon tribal beef here. It's all positivity, all fun. So when you get a job like this, I've told people many times, I only thought I was going to do like 2.5 episodes. That's all Mr. Ketch was supposed to do. One of them was a hand double. Like the first time you ever see Ketch, he's like packing the luggage, right? And the guns. And it's just like the tattooed hand. That's not me. They got someone else to do my hands. And then you know, there's the controversial. There was the clairvoyant teenage girl that I often about. I didn't. Ketch did. Let's just keep that very separate, okay? Because I know that was a very inciting incident of hate for the character. Would you agree? Can we do a poll here, just for shits and gigs? How many people hate the character of Ketch? Okay, not bad. How many of you feel he was redeemed in the end? Okay, a redemption howl. I'll take a solid redemption howl any day of the week. Okay, so that's good. But here's the thing, as an actor and just someone that got lucky to be on one of the coolest shows of all time, which I'm now finding out more than ever, starting at the beginning is so great. And the fact that my daughter, you probably heard this from actors a lot before, which is like, their kids don't care that their parents are on TV. And that's actually a good thing, right? Because they just see you as dad, and you're just, you know, dorky, fun, loving dad, and you have fun together. They don't care. But she's at the age now where her camp counselors were Supernatural fans. So I went to pick her up from camp once after school program, and they were like, oh, hi. And they were like, you know your dad's on our favorite show, right? So then all of a sudden, like, I got a little cooler in my daughter's book, if that makes sense. You know, like, oh, well, her camp counselor likes her. And so she's been begging me for the last 2 years, and every time I come to these, I ask people at my table, what is age appropriate to start your kids? And I probably interviewed like 50 plus parents over the last 7 years. Now, how many people are parents who watch the show with their kid? Right. So when did you start? How old were you? 15? 10? 10? Yeah. So I've heard from some that they've started 8, 9, or 10, depending on the maturity level, right? So it's like, you gotta know your kid. My kid's an old soul. She's also just loves scary stuff since she was a little boo. Like, she is a thrill seeker, like you. Like, you just had it in you, right? She loves jump scares. She gets the adrenaline rush. I know you love horror. Don't even get me started on you. And so I said, okay, we'll watch the pilot episode. I want you to talk about it. Like if there's any bad dreams, we're going to talk through the stuff. What's challenging for you? He's like, no, Dad, it's hilarious. I love Dave. He's so funny. It's like, okay. I was like the lady in white didn't scare you? No. She's like, no, it's great. She's like, bring on the more monsters. And so the Wendigo or Wendigo? Wendigo. Okay, there's a pun there, but I won't make it. So we watched that episode. I was like, that wasn't scary to you? He's like, no, bring it. So we watched the water episode. What's that? Whatever it is. I don't know the names of the episodes. But the flooding in the tub and all that sort of stuff. What's that? Exactly. So anyways, we are so in. We're almost done season 1 in like only 3 weeks. And like people are still coming to my table. Isn't this amazing? How many people have found this show in the last year? Isn't that amazing? That the power of the show is still bringing new people in and the power of streaming. So thank you, welcome. You're like me now. I get to be one of you. So I'm finding the show. So I watched from end of season 11 through the end, right? So I watched all of it from my entry into the show. And then when I did my research, there's like a bunch of top 10 lists, top 20 lists on the internet. You just go like, what are the best Supernatural episodes? So of course, Baby was on there, The French Mistake, right?
Yes.
And then a lot of other ones. And I was like, okay, I get the show. I understand, I think where it's going. And also because Catch and the Rich Men of Letters was a whole new chapter, like you didn't need to know too much more other than the lore of what they were creating. So long story short, I'm on the road with you now. I get to choose the music because I'm fucking driving. But also I have so many questions now, but it's gonna be fun because I get to ask questions without spoilers in the thing. Like, where did Sam's, visions go away? Did something happen to him? Shit, don't tell me.
Not there yet.
But also, here's the scariest episode I want to see of all. I'm just like, the worst Supernatural episode, I don't know if they made it, is when does the IRS find them? Because there's some serious credit card theft in these episodes. That's what I'm most concerned about. I was like, when is the government going to crack down on these thieves? Don't tell me. Don't tell me there's an IRS episode where they got busted. I didn't know how much credit card fraud there was on this show. Who knew? I'll tell you one more fun fact before we get to questions. It looks great. There's lines. I love this. There has to be a website dedicated. I've asked this in my meet and greet. Is there a website dedicated to 6 degrees of Supernatural? Other than IMDb? If not, there should be. Because the actors, especially with Vancouver actors, like we all know each other. We've all worked together. So who here, this is always a weird question, has ever watched a Christmas movie? Okay, so there's a few of you, the Venn diagram, right? Grandma House, great, thank you. So my first Christmas movie ever was in 2007 called Dear Santa. Dear Santa, and the lead actress on that is Amy Acker. Amy Acker, who was on Angel and Buffy, or just Angel. Any Buffy? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right, yeah. So episode 2 and 3, Amy Acker is the lead guest star of the water episode. And the Wendigo episode, Gina Holden is the lead guest female, and they're both my co-leads in Dear Santa. How fun is that? And then Alden Ehrenreich, what's that his name? Alden, he played the Han Solo movie.
Oh.
Episode 2 in Wendigo. He's like a 14-year-old boy playing this emo kid. That's Alden Ehrenreich. I'm like, I know all these people. Why is my falsetto so high? I'm just excited. Excited for this TV show. I want to do now. I'm officially joining the road. One more fun fact. Do you remember Ketch's boss? Dr. Hess? She's in the episode Faith. Jillian Barber is the actor's name. So I want someone to write some headcanon fic about why Dr. Hess was in the Faith episode. Let's pull all that together. I know, Jillian Barber is the wife of the... So, just fun facts. Just fun facts, folks. I'm nerding out on Supernatural. Thank you. Let's go. All right. Questions?
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Brianna, and my question is, what do you think was the most controversial thing that Cash did that if you would change it or not, because then that would change the character development?
That's a great question. Well, first of all, what was the most controversial thing that Ketch ever did? Again, I get lots of different reports from a lot of different people on that. A lot of people, like I said, thought that killing the young teenage woman in the bathroom was what set me off on this real path. I think personally the most scandalous thing is me trying to be Sam and Dean's stepdaddy. Hello, Mary. There's a marriage maiden now, huh? It's like, hello boys, have you been naughty today? Come over here and let your stepfather talk to you for a minute. I don't think people love that. I don't think there are fans of that. I don't think people like Ketch and Mary at all. I think that was real bad for both of them actually as characters. Well, listen, my beautiful fallen brother, my gorgeous Irish friend, and I'm sad he's not here with us this weekend, Adam Fergus, who played Mick Davis. Mick Davies, even I got it wrong. Fun fact, everyone would call him Mitch Davis, and it was like piss him off to no degree. It's like, no, it's Mick Davies, the British men of letters. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a shock was it when I blew him in the back of that? Wait a second. That came out so good. That's the backstory at Kendrick's. That's a problem.
I haven't seen that episode.
We got into the whiskey one night. We played some soggy biscuit, so we're not proud of it. But this is why I had to kill him. Well, you know British private school, stuff gets weird. All right, hi. And my daughter's 10? No, that's terrible. I think killing Mick, Italian mob, back of the head style, was pretty controversial. Good. What about you? What do you think? Let's shout it out. What was the worst? What? Hitting on Rowena? Oh, me torturing Rowena? It's a torture show. Come on, it just goes to the thing. But yeah, like I feel like Mick, the assassination was pretty bad. I think hooking up with Mary was pretty bad for folks. But then I felt like once I rescued Gabriel, I feel like that was maybe, for some people have said that when I got Gabriel out of the pen from Asmodeus, maybe we're getting some good points back. But that's for you to decide. But see, that's my take, but a great question, so thanks. What I love is people have so many strong opinions, good and bad, about the show, and you should all herald that, because that's what good art should do. Make you talk, make you discuss, have all the feels about it. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. Hey there!
Hey David.
How you doing, bud?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My question is, if you had to be stranded on a deserted island for 3 days, you could only bring 2 supernatural co-stars with you, who would you pick and why?
Oh my God, that's so great. That's such a great, so not the characters or the actors?
The actors.
Okay. Well, Adam Fergus for sure. He's my lad. Even though I blew him, oh damn, I can't. I got a microphone in my hand, it's all weird, it's getting weird. What am I trying to say? Like, shot him in the back of the head. I keep wanting to say, blew him away, and then it's terrible. I know, stop. Adam Fergus for sure. He's wily, he's tough, he's Irish. You climb up those palm trees, get us coconuts. He likes to dance. You need good humor when you're doing Lord of the Flies too. You know, you need that sitting around the fire guy, telling stories. And then the other person I would pick, we're only there 3 days, you said?
Yeah, 3 days.
Huh. It's a good question. Gotta pick Will. Because if it was gonna be like 2 years, I'm gonna bring a woman, obviously. But if it's only 3 days, Matt Cohen. Bring Matt Cohen. That guy is buff. That guy's gonna bring home pigs and chickens so fast. Fish? That guy's almost half prepper anyways at this point, I feel like. That guy's a rough and tumble hunter. So Matt Cohen and Adam Ferguson, we all get along like a hoot anyway, so we like good tribal naked fire dancing and meat. Deal?
Thank you.
You can come too. Make a party out of it. 3 days, that's easy. Hi.
Hi, my name's Ellen.
Hi, Ellen.
Hi. I was just wondering if Jensen and Jared ever pulled any pranks on you.
The classic. Did Jared and Jensen ever play any pranks on me? They did not. Directly. However, I just did a cameo for someone, and I think it might have been one of my favorite 8-minute speeches I've ever done in my life that I didn't know I needed. And I've asked this already. I love Jared and Jensen so much. They've been nothing but kind, graceful. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. So I'm just checking in that we all know about Jared's flatulence, right? I'm not throwing him under the bus. It's legendary. He's proud of it. He owns it. So he has sort of tried to make me crack. He's also classic at trying to make people crack up. So 2 things that I remember that weren't pranks per se, but like Jared being ultimate Jared trying to fuck with me. So I have a really big head, which you can probably see now. It's glistening in this dewy humidity. But like when I say I have a big head, it's not just like, oh, Dave, you're being hard on yourself. No, scientifically and factually, my hat size is almost an 8. That's a big boss, as we say in the UK. So I have been in this situation before where I've talked to wardrobe and props. What happens, this is kind of a fun inside sports fun fact I think for you. Hats and helmets sort of fall in between the cracks between wardrobe and props. So, and they're constantly, they assume that everyone can just wear like a hat off the shelf or a regular thing. Not with Dave Hayden Head over here, okay? Captain 8 needs special attention. And so I let them know, I purposely, when I see like, oh, I'm gonna wear a hat in a scene or I've gotta wear a helmet, I literally let production know, I was like, you need to check in with who's ever getting this and let them know I'm a double XL or a 7 7/8, okay? Of course they did. So as many of you probably know, Catch wore a motorcycle helmet, right? So in the episode The Raid, they have this whole beautiful shot planned for me because I don't ride a bike, but they also just want the stunt guy to do most of the riding for me. But they were going to have this whole beautiful thing where I got the helmet on, they're coming back into the bunker, and they're going to push me on the bike. I'm going to glide in, all that sound effects later, and I'm going to do the old take the helmet off, so it sells me riding the bike, and I do and the hair's perfect. And they've got this beautiful tracking crane shot, and the director's super psyched for it, And then we set it up, we're ready to go, and they bring me the helmet. And it sat on the back of my head like a yarmulke. It was like I was going to temple. This little miniature little party hat. Like, just sitting right back there and like, what the fuck? No. I was like, you can't get the helmet on. So Jared gets wind that my head is too big for the helmet. And you know that hearty, chesty laugh that Jared has when he's really enjoying something? He's in fits. Okay? He thinks it's the funniest thing that I can't fit the helmet on. So he starts pulling up on his phone. He's like, come on, production, we need this, we gotta fix this problem. David's head is too big for the helmet. Can we get him this? And so what he's pulled up on his phone is dark helmet from Spaceballs. They're like, who's the producer? We need to make this happen. Only this helmet will fit David Haydn-Jones. And I'm like, that's mean, that's hilarious, and I love it. So that's one of the things he did to me. And then the other thing, besides farts, in the trunk, he left some in the trunk when Ketch got it thrown in there. That was real nice. There was a point where we're going into the alternate universe. Remember the schism, whatever the time warp, whatever the name is. And remember they had to make that potion. Cassiel had to go to Israel and get those balls. So they're muddling all the potion and to make the thing happen. And I'm trying to get my Ketch speech all poised about what we need to do. And Jared is just like this with the balls. Yeah, Ketch? Is that right? He's got the mortar and pestle. He's got the pestle and the balls, and he's just doing this. Just trying to make me crack. But Jensen told me, he said, point of pride for him was never giving Jared the satisfaction of breaking. And he said, he's like, watch how it's done. And Jared was trying to fuck with his coverage, as they say. And Jensen was just like cowboy, unflappable. So that was, he was like, he looks at me and goes, that's how it's done. So anyways, thank you, great question. Sparked a lot of stories. Hi!
Hi, my name is Belle, and I was wondering what your lore is, because I was thoroughly convinced that you were British until 2 minutes ago. So what's the deal with that? It's a very good British accent, I will admit.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Appreciate it. So, someone asked me earlier today, where did you get your accent from? As many of you know, it's probably not there's many English accents, like I said. There's not one English accent. So, the development of who this guy was actually was an evolution through the audition process, actually. Because my first take, which I may reveal sometime on my Patreon channel, have you seen it? Have I shown it to you? My original audition? No, okay, you haven't even seen it. So I'm in a leather jacket, I'm all scruffy, have the beard, and I sort of went in an EastEnder, right? So, it says fucking like this, hey lads, what are you doing, huh? And it's sort of way more Cockney, rugged, Londoner style. And it still got me a callback, but then they said, I think we want him to be sort of the James Bond of Supernatural, and Phil Segrisha said, just think Monster Bond and come in on your final audition for a suit. So I had 3 auditions, and the last one I actually just wore a tuxedo. I said, okay, fuck it, let's go. And my Uncle Dave from the UK, so I have some British lineage on my family, my dad's Welsh, and then my Uncle Dave is a real proper Englishman. And again, they say in the UK now, there's so many regional dialects, only about maybe 3 to 4% of very posh, upper class people speak with the old received pronunciation of the Queen and the King. And so this would have been the classic, even in the 60s and 70s, BBC presenter voice. Now they allow all the accents to come through. So I had 3 major influences for Ketch. One was my Uncle Dave, who was a very posh Englishman. So I said, but he's literally a chin wagger. So he's like, right, good, yes, indeed. Good, okay, yes. So he's very popular, David. And then, being a Star Wars fan, the classic enemies of Grand Moff Tarkin, who speaks in the National Theatre's proper received pronunciation. You shall name as the target a military target, then name the system. So that, and then Roger Moore's James Bond is my James Bond that I grew up with. And if you watch him, he sort of has that classic posh English accent with a bit of a rounded out American style. So those were the three I was kind of like fusing together in my brain. And then you just sort of start to rehearse it, and then it's attitudinal. And you think of the arrogance he has, and sort of the training he would have had in elocution and the proper received English. So it would just started to come out, and when you had some attitude and some snootiness, all that sort of thing like that. And then you find this delightful lioness in America who has taught you like how to hunt like you've never hunted before. Things get interesting, don't they? Yeah, so that guy. That's kind of where it comes from. And then the best thing for me was my first ever big con for Supernatural only was in Blackpool, UK. So that's when I was like, okay, this is where the rubber hits the road. And I would say my passing grade was about a 93% at my table. So when the Brits go, we thought you were British, that's when I'm like, I'll take it. Take it. So thank you for the question. It was a real fun challenge.
Hello. Hello. Following on that, if you had been Canadian Men of Letters, which accent would you go with, and would you change his name?
The question was if I was doing the Canadian Men of Letters. Oh, well, come on, you just set me up for a bit. You know I love to do this guy. So, I don't know if any of you know this, my background. So my dad's Welsh, my mom's from Texas. I'm a dual citizen, but I was born in the wilds of Canada, very small town Canada. So, I don't know if any of you have seen Canadian television, or maybe Letterkenny, or like, Bob and Doug McKenzie. But I grew up in the land of hosers, for real. So who would like to see my actual accent that I grew up with? Now that I heard. So I've kind of done this bit before, but thank you for setting it up, Lisa. I appreciate you. So who here has seen Ice Road Truckers? Yeah? You know that accent I'm talking about? So it's Minnesota plus. So it's like, frickin' if you had the Canadian Men of Letters, right? You'd frickin' go hunt for Sasquatch and then go for a rip and have a dart after, right? With a 2-4 beer buddy. I'm fucking Randy Ketch. I started the Canadian Men of Letters, buddy. One shot straight to your upper neck, pal. You look me in the eye, I'll frickin' toot you. I'll toot you like a fucking clock. Now, so let's go squatching. And we don't kill monsters in Canada. We just tease them a little bit. We say sorry, but you're a little bit out of line. We really appreciate it if you just calm down. Come have a beer with us, have a dart, we'll go for a rip, and then let's just all be buds. Okay, bud? Great. Randy Ketch, Canadian Men of Letters at your service. Let's go tease some monsters. Let's go be passive aggressive to some demons. That's the Canadian way. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sherry, and I just have one question. Would you say chupacabra?
Who's asking? Oh, you just said Sherry. In just as Dave, or you want it in the catch voice?
Can you do both?
Yeah. I'll say it as Dave. I'll say it as Canadian Dave. What the frick is a chupacabra, eh? We only got mooses and squatches where I come from, buddy. Chupacabra. And then chupacabra. Do you know what she's talking about? Have you all seen like the ultimate blooper? I was so honored. You know when I found out about that? And Jensen came up to me, he's like, have you seen the new blooper that Phil cut together? I was like, no. He's like, it may be my favorite. And it was in Rome, it was at Jib, after we had finished season 12. And then he pulled it up on his phone, I'll never forget watching it. And I was like, oh my God. So there's actually a funny story of how that, oh my God, did you hear that? Oh no! Okay, so there's a real good story, but shit, I gotta watch this. It gets in me, it gets folksy. You put a few tequilas in me too, it gets real buddy, fuck yeah, but it's dangerous. Wow. I've got a story for you. They had their coverage on the day before that I came in. So the scene was not continuous or contiguous, right? They had put it together, two sides of the phone call are often shot on different days, right? And so they had that whole cracking up day with the crew laughing about Chupacabra, where they're like shaking, the camera's shaking, they can't keep it together. So Phil Sugrisha, one of the executive producers and the director of that episode, he's a very clever editor and he loves comedy. And I could kind of tell like something was up when it came time for me. I'm going hunting for Chupacabra with your mother in Texas, was the actual line. But I said it like pretty well, and generally like when you get it out, it's 2 or 3 takes. But he's like, yeah, can you say that again and just put a little something extra on this, and a little something. So little did I know at the time, Phil is building that blooper in his brain because he had known what had happened the day before. And then I started hearing the crew kind of tittering the more I said Chupacabra, because I think they were kind of in on the joke from yesterday, but no one was telling me anything. So in a weird way, the Chupacabra blooper video is kind of Phil pranking me with the fun that they had the day before. And so we did all these like slow pans into my face and me looking really like morose and angry and stuff like that. And then if you haven't seen it, I really suggest, right folks? Google the Chupacabra blooper on YouTube. Like, and if you're a Supernatural fan, you won't be disappointed. So thanks for just that simple request sparked the story. Appreciate it. Thank you. It is muggy. Is it me or is it is so muggy? Would someone get me dark helmet so I could just put it over my head? Sorry, I'm schwitzing. Hi there.
Hi, it's your newbie friend.
What's that? Take a deep breath.
It's your newbie friend.
Oh yes, hi. I was like, I'm your Newfie friend. I was like, you want me to do a Newfoundlander's accent? Hey there, put on the vendor up, go to a David Party, spit chicken.
So my question is, if you could go back in time and play a different character on the show, who would it be and why?
Go back in time and go to another show?
No, play a different character in the show.
In this show?
Yes.
Ooh, gosh. That's so hard. Because it's like, I'll answer it. But I just got to quibble, not to your question, because it's so hard. Because it's like, I auditioned for the show 6 times for different roles, different like small roles and guest stars before I got Catch. So they kept bringing me back. And unless you're Jillian Barber, who gets to play twice in 15 years, there must be a list of that too, where characters have been more than once on the show. Is there? Mm-hmm. Like, is it like 10 or more? Or is it, there's a lot? Because of the Vancouver, see, someone's got to make this website. I'm giving you a gift, run. But like, there's this thing with actors, I don't know if any of you know actors who have aspiring actors, but even the greats will tell you when they're developing their career, 98% of this job is rejection, right? It is 98% not getting the job. If you are booking 3 to 4% of your gigs in your 20s and your 30s, until you get on a series, you are crushing it as an actor. Just think of that for a second. Those are like the stats of telemarketing closing, right? In an hour. So there's this whole mantra with actors is you sort of have to, in order to keep going and believe in yourself, you have to sort of say, it's just play, there is no job, and also you get the jobs you are supposed to get. Does that make sense? Because I cannot imagine my life without being Arthur Ketch, and there's no other actor in this show that I don't think is perfectly cast. So it's a weird thing for me to go back in time and want to do any other role now, knowing what my experience is with the guys and in this role. So having said that, because I don't want to dodge your question, there was only one Mark Shepard, but one of my favorite characters on the show, of course, is Crowley. So that just as a role, and I don't want to pretend that I would want to do it or anything, like Shepard is a genius in that role, but I love that role of anything. Like, let's just say Supernatural becomes like Shakespeare and they're doing stage productions of it. I would love to take my shot at doing Crowley. Is it Crowley or Crowley? I know it's Crowley. What's that other one, the Angels and Demons? They say Crowley, right? What's that? Yeah. But they call it Crowley on that show, right? Like more of a crow. Doesn't matter. Does that answer your question, Elise? I didn't want it to be a dodge, but yeah. It's just, I kind of can't see myself as anyone else other than Catch. And it's so much fun doing it. So, thank you. Appreciate it. See you at dinner. Nope. Okay, great. Hi. There's secrets being told that don't make me nervous. Okay. Checking with her lawyer. Signing an NDA. Hey, what's happening over here? Are we asking a question? Oh, okay, well, there we go.
So my question is, my name's Beth, by the way.
I'm going to see you at dinner, right?
Yes, you will
and
see
your
me at
daughter.
dinner tonight.
Fantastic.
My question was, is when I handed you my poster to sign, and I said, I'll let you decide whether you want to sign in the heaven area or the hell area, and you chose hell.
I did.
Why?
So, obviously, the ending was complicated by COVID, right? We have all complicated feelings about that. We did the best we could. The writers did the best we could, especially with the cross-border protocols. I don't know if any of you know this, but Catch was redeemed as much as the writers were concerned, because he was actually there was going to be a lot of people in Dean's Heaven in that bar after he talks to Bob. So some of you know that, the original script? And then they had to scale way down for COVID. What that means is, which is what I'm lobbying for, in the sequel, I think Catch almost redeemed himself, got killed by the demon, and I think he deserves to be in hell as a right-hand servant boy, message boy of Rowena, the queen. Maybe there's a little dog collar. I don't know. Black leather suit. No? You're very against this. I love your reaction to this. You're like, It's okay. That's my fantasy. But I would love to see Demon Catch in hell as Rowena's manservant. Right? Very English. We team that. Make it happen on the internet. AO3, I don't know, whatever. Hi.
Hi, my name is Jen. This is my first convention.
Hey, welcome everyone, Jen. She's the first time. How's it going so far?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm sweating like a
it's humid. Okay. Yeah, I don't like it.
So muggy.
I was just gonna ask, what kind of movies would Catch like?
Definitely a lot of classic, as I say, David Lean, sort of big, epic war pictures, you know. Definitely a fan of Churchill, you know. World War II documentaries, you know. Anything to do with torturing little creatures, they make those. It's probably got some like occult, very dark stuff. When he was a kid, before he was redeemed. I think he would also like. I think he would like Shakespeare. I think he would like the brutality of a proper, you know, king tragedy. You know what I mean? None of the comedies. Just good, proper English, you know, dark, dire, mean, warlike sort of product. Yeah, that's what he watches. Anything that is militarized or sort of about being a good soldier, pip and all that. Right? Very good. Carry on. All right, very good. Welcome, Jen. Thank you. Are you got a question too? Come on. Or are you just being her hype person? I love it. Like Jen's first con.
Yes.
I want a friend like that.
Yes,
That's amazing.
I'm her best friend, and this is first con. She's never. So I've just been her like eyes and ears this whole time. She's very nice for her. She's just shy.
I love it. It's amazing. Well, thanks for asking the question.
Yes. Also, since no one else is here, I'm just gonna ask you another question.
Please.
So, if Catch were to ever watch The Muppets with like Sam Dean or like Cats or something, do you think he would enjoy it or just overanalyze it too much?
The Muppets? Oh, I love that. Catch watching the original 70s, 80s Muppets? That's a great question. I mean, I always thought, you know, how self-aware was Catch in terms of comedy, or because I always saw him that he was brainwashed and sort of sculpted as a young kid at Kendrick's, and we know that the backstory of that is that he had sort of psychopathic tendencies, which they then sort of weaponized and trained and brought out, and sort of when he brainwashed Mary and was training her, trying to convert her, clearly their methodology had gotten more sophisticated to try to bring people on board, right? So, I don't know, like, I wonder if the guy, I always said this, I've said this before in panels, Catch just needed a good psychiatrist and a hug. He was a broken little boy, right? And I said this before, but you know that whole Alexander twin sort of, it was kind of corny fake out, but it was supposed to be kind of meta, like a soap opera. I like the idea that, you know how you had to kill someone at Kendrick's to earn your stripes? You had to go out and we're in the room, one knife, two kids. I kind of like the idea, and it's not proven, it's my own headcanon, that one of the reasons why Arthur was so damaged is that Alexander actually was a twin of his, and that's who he killed in the room. So if you think of the psychology, and I've talked to a lot of twins comes to these shows, by the way. I always love I love to nerd out on twin connection and stuff like that. But I love the idea that sort of poetically and dramatically, that if you kill your twin, you're also killing a piece of yourself. You feel me? Yeah, so I love that idea, even though it's not in the show, is that when he pretended to be Alexander and he's being tortured, there was a part of true ugly guilt in his pain as he was sort of pretending to be that part of himself. Does that make sense? I know it's a little nerdy, but you know, I'm a nerd, so I feel that. And there's more people behind you. This is good. This is good? Good. People thinking the question. Is this gone past 45 minutes? No? God, it's so much harder when you're doing it by yourself. It's like, hey, where's my buddy? Gil's here tomorrow, Adam's here tomorrow. When it's 3, it's just like, I take a nap on stage. It's fantastic. I'm working it today. Hi.
Hi, I'm Samuel. My question is, if Catch were to be normal and have like a normal life, what kind of pet would he have?
So if Catch was not a psychopath, is what you're saying. You can say it. If he had not been trained to be an awful monster killer, murderer at Kendrick's, and so he's just in the north of England tending to his garden, what sort of pet would he have? But see, yes, I know that Catch would have, he enjoyed his hellhounds. Oh, there's a scene, so I'm going to go off topic. But there was a scene that I wish I never got to have, which is we know that Catch and Crowley had a relationship. I would have loved to have had one scene with Mark Shepard where we're doing a deal about the hellhounds. I think that would have been dynamite. I would have loved to have seen that scene. But if Catch was not a psychopath, I think he would have had a hairless Egyptian cat. I don't know why. Because I think he's a bit of an oddball, honestly. And who is pro hairless cat? Yeah, I know, but even putting your hand up, you're like, I know. I don't know, I have feelings about the hairless cat. It makes no sense to me. But why not? I just love him puttering around in a garden in wellies, and like flannel. Just, the sliding doors of what Catch could have been. Just tending to his nice English garden. Thank you, appreciate you. Is that someone on deck or no? Or just being moral support? Okay. All right, great. So, I guess we'll just, oh good, thank God. I was gonna lead us in meditation for the next 5 minutes in lotus pose. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, just keep them coming. Hi.
I was a last minute addition.
I love all the last minute additions.
Okay, so this is not about Supernatural. My boyfriend and I are obsessed with Dear Santa.
Oh, fantastic! Were you here for my Dear Santa story?
No, I just
perfect.
walked
I'll
in.
say it again. This is fantastic. I'll give you the backstory. But go.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask like what it was like working on that because we just watch it every year. It just warms our hearts and makes us laugh.
Thank you so much.
It's one of those like little finds.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much. That was my first ever Christmas movie, and you're one of the few people that have the Venn diagram where Christmas movies and Supernatural intersect. And by the way, it's much more than I thought it ever would be. Actually, like I get a lot of people at my table that are also pro Christmas movies. So thank you for being one of them. Amy Acker is a delight. Unbelievable co-star. She's so sweet. Olivia, that girl, the child actress, does she not just melt your heart how good she is? Like, talk about an old soul. She's just so good. Gina Holden. So this will tie, everyone knows the story, but I'll give you the brief version of it. And then, you know, the director. And it's just, we shot it pretty fast and cheap in Calgary, which is my hometown. And it was such a bundle of joy and silly and great. And it was one of the Christmas, it's one of the Christmas movies, you sneaked up on a guy like that. That we actually got to use real snow. You know how like they always shoot them in the summertime, they got all the fake snow? But I'll just end with this real quick because I gave everyone this. So if you look at season 1, I'm watching it now with my daughter, like through season 1. Episodes 2 and 3 have Gina Holden and Amy Acker. So it's 2 degrees from Dear Santa. So how wild is that? I'm watching, I'm like, they're my co-stars from Dear Santa in the first 3 episodes. So check it out again, Gina Holden, Amy Acker from Dear Santa in the first season of Supernatural. Boom, there you go.
Nice.
Perfect timing. Well done. Perfect timing. Thanks everybody.